Hey guys, I wanted to show you guys what I've been working on here in Battlefield Portal. This is going to be my Conquest large map that I've been showing off teases of every now and again on LinkedIn for Blocktober. Just a heads up that uh, this is still heavily a work in progress, so please just keep that in mind as we go through this. So to start off, this is the base that I'm starting off with for now. I've actually found out that Portal has some pretty high data constraints when it comes to what you can actually build. So since I'm building a Conquest Large, the base is probably going to stay this simple. Um, but yeah, let's start off here with our first A objective. This is meant to just kind of be like a pipeline for this base. The whole map is set inside like a giant volcano. And then this is like the interior of the volcano where they built like a little base. So this is just a little pipeline area I've been working on so far. This area can be traversed pretty well with vehicles and is a pretty quick traversal area as well for most players as well. I try to keep the scale feeling good for both, but it's a nice little balancing act with Battlefield since Battlefield players are typically used to a little bit larger maps when it comes to like Battlefield 4 and like the older games. So like there's a lot of different opinions of what you can do and not do for design. Um, so I designed this entire play space around making sure the assault ladder felt great, and then also the deployable shield felt great, using unbuilt to support in the assault class, while also making it so that players can still navigate through the spaces without needing those items. So like I can just jump over here and climb up here to go across this. This is like a little sneaky path into the little base area from this flag. And there are three entrances to this that the player can clearly see when they come out. And they can also just kind of side strafe up to here if they want as well. But yeah, I'll finish up over here real quick and then we'll get to some other spaces. So this is just a big vehicle playground space. Of course, a lot of verticality here. That's something that I felt has been lacking from Battlefield 6 a lot is decent verticality with a lot of nice lines and shapes that allow players to be in a lot of different places, but not in too many, I guess. Um, this is just a simple little building right on the outskirts that players can use to try to assault the point if they come from that direction or if they're coming out of the cave right there. Um, the whole thing that I was gonna go for here is have like this be like kind of a rock slid or rock slide into this space so that the it just looked a lot more gravelly and corroded in a way that would make sense and then also allow players to use it in unique ways to interact with both vehicles and also other players on the map. So now we are going to quickly just run over here and I'll give you guys a little interior look of the bunker. So while designing this, I've been trying to just keep in mind all like the cool Battlefield moments that I've always liked. So like I always think of like fighting like a sniper across this type of line of sight and stuff. How can I avoid the sniper shot? I can like kind of crawl along this. I can jump it down. I can do a lot of different things. I'm trying to keep that in mind as much as I can here to make sure that this area just feels good. This is where the start of the interior of the bunker is. Apologies about some of the Z fighting. But yeah, so the interior of the bunker is like the main central control point on the map. The players fight through all these spaces, and really the main route of the road is mainly for vehicles. But when players like walk around this type of space, it's mostly for players, of course, in these spaces. But besides the point, once the players capture this objective, which is the C objective, a helicopter will actually spawn right there. And that will be the main reason to hold this objective. Other than that, it's like pretty easy to actually hold this space for like the team because I have like control points up there. Like there's a lot of ways to like hold this on both sides. Like even on this side over here, I made it so that when players like come through this space, that's like I have a rock breach in there. My bad. But when players come into this space, they have such a nice overview of the space that they can kind of like hold the space just from like this bridge and like run across all this over here. And there's also a counter to that because this wall is actually destructible as well. Same with all these other walls that look exactly like this. So you can kind of create your own sight lines and have more fun. But I wanted to have destructibility in the space without making it feel like overly complex. Just one last quick little thing while we're here. You can head up this little staircase that's at the bottom of the helipad here. There's this whole little bottom area, and this staircase will take you up to that room that we were just in, right here. And you can either just jump up here like this or walk around the sides. But the rest of the tunnel is pretty simplistic. There's an objective over there that's probably going to be D. And then there's going to be an echo location over in that direction. As I've mentioned earlier in this little walkthrough, and also during like my LinkedIn posts that I put up for the map, I've been having to kind of go back through the entire map and rebuild it in a lot of areas to make sure that it is piece efficient enough to actually finish the map, because I don't think that portal might have actually been intended to make a full Conquest large map on your own. At least how I've been doing it, because I've been trying to make it really complex and nice in a nice little cool way. But this is the D objective that we were just talking about. It connects back to the A objective over there. But the D objective, there's nice little overlooks onto it. There's nice little combat spaces to actually fight in. More than likely, I'm going to be redesigning this entire space, though, because as you can see, the interior of this building for the D objective isn't even done. And I'm already hitting the cap for portal. So more than likely, this building's just too complex and too destructible. Because as you can probably see, the entire roof, all that's destructible, all this is destructible. The only things that aren't is this and those types of concrete over there. But yeah, I'm more than likely just gonna be redesigning all that for the hell of it. I'm gonna redeploy real quick and head back to the base and grab a vehicle, and I can show you some of the more easy vehicle paths, I guess is the way to put that. So here, we'll get in the car and drive around real quick. So as you can see, the vehicle path is a little bumpy. That is intentional. I want to have the dirt to kind of be more of the bumpy path, while if you stay on the concrete, then it will be very smooth and make it like really simple to get through. So I tried to make these paths very consistent so that it's easy for players to get through without bumping too much. Of course, there are little potholes and stuff that they can run into, but I'm going to be smoothing out a lot of this terrain as the blockout progresses. As well, because we don't have terrain editing within the Battlefield Portal tools. We only have these rubble piles that I've been using for the vehicle paths. So a lot of this is a lot of trial and error, I guess is the way to put that, and that will be smooth with testing and all the other type of stuff. But so this all connects this way and connects right back to the C objective. And you can also go through this space right here too, but it's blocked off for vehicles, so vehicles can only go through there so far before they have to get out. And then, yeah, this is pretty much the map right here. I'm still working on it and trying to piece efficient the map as much as I can so that I can actually finish it for Conquest Large. But more than likely what might have to happen too is, having to swap it to Conquest Small. But yeah, I'll just show you this little space right over here, I guess, since the ladder's being a little buggy. So we got this space up here, which overlooks onto D, and you can climb up the ladder there, of course, but this is like a little bunker that transitions through D and E. So this will connect to E, and the E flag will be around this location right here. And you can kind of hold this point to hold E, and then also to assault onto D, or you can cross the space and try to just cut straight to C from here, whether that be from the big door, or whether that be from my little interior cave section I have right here. It kind of just smoothly connects to all these spaces. Have some nice sight lines through here. If you have the assault ladder, you can get a little bit of a higher sight line as well by just like climbing up here and then just climbing on up. Now I have a better sight line over the top, and I can also like fight over the top here. It's pretty cool. And then yeah, so this connects back towards that first part that we were at with a vehicle, and then you can also cut back through here towards C as well. But yeah, this is my Battlefield Portal map. Currently, the working title is Operation Volatility. So I'm going to be working on this and trying to get this published out by the end of the Portal contest deadline that there actually is. Um, Sadly, October 31st just didn't line up properly to publish this thing because, yeah, it's a huge project and I've been having to rework a lot of it because of the Portal caps. But thank you guys so much for joining me for this little walkthrough here to show off this progress, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.